Neon Inferno, the latest game from developers Retroware, dropped November 20th and has quickly become one of my favourite games of 2025. This is a great side-scrolling shooter which doesn't try to reinvent the wheel, instead opting to do everything that it does extremely well. Visually, it's a retro, pixelated treat for the eyes with a gorgeous colour palette that jumps off the screen, loads of distinctive enemies with their own look and feel, and some very, very cool 80s inspired cutscenes. The soundtrack, absolute quality, full of energetic techno bops, sound effects for weapons, explosions and enemy grunts are all spot on, as if they've been ripped straight out of any Hollywood blockbuster from the 80s and 90s. It's giving Platoon and Commando vibes. The game plays like a joyous blend of Metal Slug, Contra and Wild Guns, letting you easily switch between foreground and background combat with high impact level design, meaning that there's basically always something going on, it's always chaotic. It does a great job at keeping every screen's design and obstacles feeling fresh, regularly introducing new gimmicks and situations to make each moment more memorable. Difficulty wise, it's pretty straightforward. You only get one life, but checkpoints are often and well positioned to dive right back into the action. Arcade mode, exactly what you would expect it to be, extremely demanding, however one hit, you're done. So if you're not particularly experienced or skilled at these kind of games, maybe best to hold off on arcade mode. One thing that surprised me, not really a criticism, is that for an arcade game, it lacks a scoring system. The game does keep track of time for you and it gives you an end of level rating depending on things that you've done, but really strange to not have that sort of leaderboard type thing going on. The only other minor criticism I have is with special weapons, which you have to buy in between missions from the shop. That's fine, but they can be a bit fiddly and tricky to turn on, and they can't be turned off until their ammo is exhausted, which is a bit of a waste. This slightly lessens any incentive to use them in just a casual playthrough. I found myself beating entire levels and opting not to use them at all. Thankfully, like I say, they're not needed to progress or to enjoy the game particularly. They're merely an add-on if you can get used to the awkward button combinations. I absolutely love this game. It pays homage to some of the all-time great run-and-gun icons of bygone eras while stamping its own mark on the genre. I'm a big fan of anything retro-inspired and had this on my wishlist before Retroware very kindly offered me a key, but I may have to double dip on this one because it seems like the perfect game to play on handheld systems. Neon Inferno, honestly, is absolutely a 10 out of 10 for me. I think it's an instant classic. I think it's one that's gonna go down in history as one of the best modern run-and-gun games. We don't get nearly enough of them these days. It's a crying shame that the genre has sort of died off a little bit. There's been a little bit of a resurgence recently. Another game that I've got my eye on is Metaloid, which I will be reviewing for the channel as well, so keep an eye out for that one. If you've not already seen Neon Inferno on the storefronts, I will pop all the details in the description below. Make sure you check it out. It is fan-dabby-dozy.
Oh,